All right, let's get right into it. If you're a founder, you already know that hiring is one of the most critical things you do. But when we talk about email marketing, the whole game has changed. This isn't just about sending out a few newsletters anymore. So think of this as your personal playbook for building a modern, AI-powered email team that actually moves the needle on growth. First things first, let's get one thing straight. Anyone telling you email is dead is simply living in the past. You know, with all the privacy changes happening on platforms you don't own, your direct channels are basically gold. Email is thriving because it's gotten so much smarter, more personal, and you guessed it, powered by AI. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the shift. We're moving away from that old school gut feel approach, blasting one single message out to everyone and just hoping for the best. We're now in a world that is completely data-backed and automated. It's really the difference between shouting into a huge crowd and having a real, meaningful, one-on-one conversation with every single customer at scale. Okay, so with that massive shift in mind, what does this new reality actually mean for you as a founder? Well, it means hiring isn't about finding someone to just send emails anymore. It's about putting together a team that can build a truly scalable system, a system that's designed for one thing and one thing only: measurable ROI. And listen, here's what's really at stake. The cost of getting this wrong has absolutely skyrocketed. Modern email isn't just a channel, it's a complex predictive engine. And hiring a team that doesn't get this new technical, data-driven world is frankly one of the fastest ways to just burn cash. This playbook is designed to help you avoid that exact mistake. To steer clear of those costly mistakes, everything, and I mean everything, starts with the leader of the pack, your email strategist. This is the person who sets the vision and makes sure the entire program is perfectly aligned with your business goals. Getting this hire right is just fundamental. So, this is your first and probably most important question. Don't just ask them what they would do. Ask them to actually lay out a plan. What this question does is it tests their ability to think on multiple horizons at once, from the quick wins they can get you right now to the sustainable long-term growth you need down the road. And here's what you should be listening for in their answer. A great strategist won't just throw out vague ideas. They'll talk about structure. They should immediately bring up quick wins like a reactivation campaign and balance that with bigger, long-term projects like building out complex nurture sequences. Listen for any mention of specific tools. And here's the kicker: an ability to forecast results. That's how you know they think in terms of ROI. Of course, a great strategy means nothing if you can't execute. This question gets right at the project management side of the role. An email program has a ton of moving parts. You've got copy, design, development, approvals. So how do they stop it all from turning into chaos? A strong answer here is all about process. They should be talking about clear approval loops, using automation for routine tasks, and having a really rigorous QA process. And please, don't overlook that last point on deliverability. A brilliant email that lands in the spam folder is worse than worthless. It's a completely wasted opportunity. Okay, so once you have the strategy locked down, you need the creatives to actually bring it to life. We're talking about your designers and copywriters. These are the folks who make your brand feel human right inside someone's inbox. For designers, this is the million-dollar question. It's not just about making an email look pretty. It's about making it functional, readable, and effective, whether someone's looking at it on a giant desktop monitor, their phone, or even in dark mode. This is a serious technical design challenge. An expert will immediately start talking about responsive design and mobile-first principles. They should be mentioning specific tools they use for testing, like Litmus or Email on Acid, that ensure an email looks perfect across dozens of different inboxes. If they don't bring up testing on their own, that's a major red flag. Now for the copywriter. Look, good copy doesn't just inform people, it persuades them. It drives them to take action. The goal here is to figure out if you're talking to just a writer or a conversion writer. And trust me, there is a huge difference. The biggest giveaway is their focus on strategy. A great copywriter will ask you about your audience segments and where they are in the funnel before they even think about writing a single word.
They'll talk about using AI tools to test tons of subject lines and know exactly how to shift the tone from a warm welcome email to an urgent sales message. So you've got great strategy and great creative, but they're basically powerless without the engine room. Now we're talking about your technologists, the developers, the data engineers, the analysts who build the infrastructure and make sense of all the results. This is where AI truly comes to life. First up, the developer. Their job is to code absolutely bulletproof email templates that work everywhere, every time. So ask them about their process for creating modular, reusable templates and how they manage dynamic content. A good answer should involve a component-based system and a deep understanding of how to handle all the weird quirks of different email clients, especially Outlook. Now, this question for your data engineer or analyst, it's a massive one. Email can't just operate in its own little silo. How do they connect an email open to a website visit and then to a final purchase? You want to listen for terms like UTM tracking, CRM integration, and maybe even CDPs, or customer data platforms. Their answer will tell you if they can actually prove the business impact of your entire email program. And this is exactly how that data-first thinking connects to real business goals. To prove your ROI, you need that full funnel attribution, which means tracking the entire user journey. To really inform your strategy, you've got to connect email data to actual product usage data. A great data person can answer all of these questions, turning what looks like simple email activity into a roadmap for business growth. Finally, let's talk about your lifecycle manager. This is the person who owns all those automated campaigns that are running 24/7. You have to ask them how they use data to constantly refine these flows. A great answer is going to involve regular analysis of drop-off points, A/B testing everything from content to timing, and using user behavior to trigger new, more relevant sequences. These campaigns should never, ever be set it and forget it.
A fantastic lifecycle manager absolutely lives and breathes this entire flow. They should be able to look at this and immediately start talking about how they'd optimize every single step. They're obsessed with questions like, where are users dropping off in our welcome series? What content actually nurtures a lead towards a sale? How can we win back users who've gone quiet? They see this not as a static chart, but as a living system that can always be improved.
So we've covered the strategists, the creatives, and the technologists. Let's wrap this up by bringing the focus back to the most important person in this entire process, you, the founder. What's your role in all of this? Your job is not to be an email developer or a copywriter. Your job is to be the leader. It's to use the very questions in this playbook to vet your team, to track the key performance indicators that actually matter, and to make sure the outcomes are driving your company's growth. Ultimately, it really all comes down to this. You don't need to be an email expert. You need to be an expert at finding and guiding the experts. This playbook is your tool to do exactly that, to find, to hire, and to lead a world-class AI-driven email team. And so I'll leave you with this one final thought. You have this incredibly powerful channel right at your fingertips. The real question is, are you treating it like a random newsletter, or are you building it into a predictable, consistent lever for growth? Now you have the playbook to make it happen.